Gemini? Pause for a moment and listen closely. January 9th is not just another date on the calendar. It is a spiritual trigger point, a cosmic signal, a moment where the universe quietly decides whether you are ready to step into the next chapter of your life. Something rare happens on this day, and if you notice it, truly notice it, your breakthrough begins immediately. This is not about luck. This is not about chance. This is about alignment. On January 9th, the energy surrounding Gemini shifts in a way that exposes hidden doors, silent opportunities, and long-delayed answers. Many Geminis will feel it before they understand it. A sudden realization, an unexpected conversation, a strong emotional reaction that seems to come out of nowhere. These are not accidents. They are signs. Before we go deeper, take a second right now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss messages meant for you. And most importantly, comment Gemini below if you are ready to receive clarity, truth, and the breakthrough that January 9th is preparing to deliver. Your comment is not random. It is a declaration. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll hear today may explain struggles you've carried for years and why they are finally about to end. Number 1. Why January 9 is different for Gemini. January 9 carries a unique energetic signature for you because it activates a mental and spiritual crossroads. You are ruled by Mercury, the planet of thought, communication, timing, and awareness. On this day, Mercury forms a subtle but powerful alignment that amplifies perception. This means things you once ignored, rationalized, or postponed suddenly become impossible to overlook. This is why January 9th doesn't arrive loudly. It doesn't come with fireworks or dramatic announcements. Instead, it arrives quietly, testing your awareness. The universe asks a simple question. Are you paying attention now? For months, maybe years, you've been moving between options, ideas, identities, and possibilities. Gemini energy thrives on movement, but it also struggles with stillness. January 9th forces a pause, and in that pause, something important reveals itself. You may notice a sudden clarity about a decision you've been avoiding, a realization about a person, habit, or belief that no longer fits a strong internal yes or no that feels final. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. The reason this day is so powerful is because it exposes truth without emotional distortion. Gemini often overthinks, but January 9th cuts through the noise. The mind becomes sharp, focused, and unusually honest. You see things as they are, not as you hoped they would be. If you resist this clarity, the energy feels uncomfortable. If you accept it, everything begins to move. This is why some Geminis experience breakthroughs immediately after this day, while others feel stuck. The difference is not intelligence or effort, it is recognition. January 9th gives you a moment of recognition. What you do with it determines the next chapter of your life. Number 2, the sign that triggers your breakthrough, Gemini. Your breakthrough doesn't start with a big event. It starts with a reaction. On January 9th, something will happen that creates a strong internal response, stronger than expected. It may seem small on the surface, but your emotional or mental reaction will be disproportionate. That is the sign. This could be a comment someone makes that lingers in your mind, news you weren't expecting, a memory that suddenly resurfaces, a feeling of irritation, excitement, sadness, or motivation without a clear reason. Here's the truth. When something triggers you on January 9th, it is pointing to a truth you can no longer ignore. Gemini energy is adaptable, but sometimes that adaptability turns into avoidance. You move on quickly, distract yourself, intellectualize emotions. January 9th disrupts that pattern. The universe presses on the one spot you've been protecting. This trigger is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to wake you up. Ask yourself on that day, why did this affect me so deeply? What is this revealing about what I truly want? What am I being asked to release or claim? The breakthrough begins the moment you stop dismissing the feeling and start listening to it. Many Geminis miss this moment because they talk themselves out of it. They say, "It's not that serious," or "I'll deal with it later." But January 9th does not come back. The energy moves forward quickly. If you honor the reaction instead of suppressing it, clarity follows fast. You may suddenly know which direction to take, which relationship to redefine, which version of yourself is outdated. This is the moment where life shifts from confusion to momentum. The universe doesn't demand action immediately, it demands acknowledgement. Once you acknowledge the truth revealed by that trigger, the path forward starts opening naturally. This is how real breakthroughs begin, not with force, but with awareness. Number 3. Why your past struggles make sense now. Gemini, if you felt delayed, misunderstood, or mentally exhausted lately, January 9th explains why. The challenges you faced were not punishments, they were preparation. You've been learning discernment, learning when to speak and when to stay silent, learning the difference between curiosity and distraction, learning that not every option deserves your energy. The universe often teaches Gemini through contrast. You experience confusion so you can recognize clarity. You experience restlessness so you can value focus. You experience emotional distance so you can understand connection. On January 9th, these lessons begin to integrate. Suddenly, patterns from the past start making sense. You may realize why certain plans never worked, why some people exited your life abruptly, why motivation came and went in cycles. This is not because you failed. It's because the timing wasn't aligned. Gemini energy matures when it stops chasing stimulation and starts choosing intention. January 9th marks that transition. The breakthrough doesn't erase your past struggles, it reframes them. You see how each delay redirected you, how each ending protected you, how each moment of doubt strengthened your discernment. This realization brings relief. Mental pressure eases. You stop blaming yourself. And in that space, confidence returns. Not loud confidence, but grounded confidence. This is important because Gemini breakthroughs are mental before they are external. Once your inner narrative changes, your external reality follows quickly. You are no longer trying to prove anything. You are choosing alignment. January 9th helps you release the identity of almost there and step into ready now. Number 4. How this day changes your decision making. One of the most noticeable transformations Gemini experiences after January 9th is decisiveness. For a sign known for weighing options, seeing both sides, and keeping multiple doors open, this shift is powerful and life-altering. Something changes internally. The mental tug-of-war quiets down. The constant "what if" loses its grip. After this day, decisions don't necessarily become easier, they become clearer. You suddenly recognize the hidden cost of indecision. You see how waiting, overthinking, or delaying has drained your energy more than choosing ever could. Uncertainty no longer feels exciting or mysterious. It feels heavy, and that awareness alone changes everything. You may notice a few immediate shifts. Your tolerance for vague situations decreases. You want direct answers, honest conversations, and defined paths. You begin setting stronger boundaries without guilt. You also feel a deep urge to simplify. Fewer commitments, fewer distractions, fewer emotional loose ends. This is not you becoming rigid. This is you becoming intentional. January 9th activates a powerful mental filter. Instead of asking, "What could happen?" you start asking better questions. Does this align with who I'm becoming? Does this energize me or slowly drain me? Am I choosing this out of fear, habit, or truth? These questions don't confuse you, they guide you. Gemini often delays decisions to preserve freedom. But after this date, you realize something important. Commitment is not confinement. Commitment is focus. And focus is where momentum lives. This shift shows up everywhere, in career choices, relationships, creative projects, and daily routines. You stop scattering your energy across endless possibilities. And when Gemini focuses, progress accelerates fast. That's why your breakthroughs may seem sudden to others. They don't see the inner clarity that made your choice inevitable. Trust this new decisiveness. You didn't wake up with it. You earned it. Number 5, relationships and communication shifts. Gemini, after January 9th, your relationships begin to shift for one simple but powerful reason. Your communication changes. Not in a dramatic or confrontational way, but in a grounded, intentional way. You stop performing in conversations. You stop over-explaining your feelings to people who were never truly listening. And most importantly, you stop saying yes when your inner voice is clearly saying maybe or no. This change doesn't make you distant or cold. It makes you clear. Clear about what you feel. Clear about what you need. Clear about what you will and will not tolerate. You realize that clarity is kinder than confusion, to yourself and to others. As this shift happens, some relationships naturally deepen. Honest conversations feel easier. Emotional exchanges become more meaningful. You feel safer expressing your truth without overthinking how it will be received. These connections grow because they are built on mutual respect and emotional presence. At the same time, other relationships may begin to fade, not because of conflict, but because misalignment becomes impossible to ignore. The small talk feels empty. The emotional imbalance becomes obvious, and instead of forcing connection, you allow distance. This is not rejection. This is refinement. You may notice yourself wanting fewer but deeper connections. You become less patient with surface-level interactions that go nowhere. You value presence over constant communication. You also grow more comfortable with silence, not as avoidance, but as peace. Silence no longer feels awkward. It feels honest. This is emotional maturity taking shape. January 9th teaches you a crucial lesson. Words are powerful, but intention is stronger. You speak with more purpose. You listen more carefully. When you say something, you mean it, and people can feel that. As your communication becomes cleaner, your relationships become healthier. You naturally attract people who respect your boundaries, understand your depth, and meet you at the level you're now operating on. This is not a loss of connection. This is the beginning of alignment. Number 6. What to do on January 9. Itself, Gemini. January 9 is not a day for rushing, proving, or forcing outcomes. This is not a day to overplan your future or pressure yourself into action. And it's definitely not a day to drown your thoughts in constant distractions. The power of this day comes from presence, not performance. Instead of trying to control the energy, allow yourself to observe it. Pay close attention to your emotional and mental reactions throughout the day. Notice what triggers you, what excites you, and what suddenly feels heavy or outdated. These reactions are signals. They are showing you where clarity is forming. Also, notice repeating thoughts, ideas, or themes. If something keeps returning to your mind, it's not random. It's asking to be acknowledged. If you can, write things down. Journaling on January 9th is especially powerful for Gemini because it helps organize insight before the mind starts analyzing it away. You don't need perfect sentences. Just capture what feels important in the moment. Even a few honest notes can reveal patterns you didn't see before. Limit unnecessary noise as much as possible. This includes constant scrolling, excessive talking, or multitasking just to stay busy. Silence is not empty on this day. It's informative. This is a listening day, not a performing one. The more space you create, the clearer the message becomes. If something feels important, honor it. Write it down. Sit with it. Don't rush to explain it away. If something feels uncomfortable, explore it gently without judgment. Discomfort on January 9th isn't a warning. It's a doorway. And if something excites you unexpectedly, don't dismiss it just because it doesn't fit your current plans. Excitement is often alignment trying to get your attention. Your breakthrough begins with awareness. Avoid impulsive decisions, but don't ignore clarity when it arrives. There is a difference between rushing and recognizing truth. Let the day speak to you. The message may be subtle, quiet, and personal, but it will be precise. Number 7, the days after, when momentum begins. Gemini, the days following January 9th are where everything starts to move, not in a chaotic rush, but in a smooth, almost effortless way. What once felt delayed begins to flow. Opportunities appear with better timing. Conversations finally lead somewhere meaningful. Ideas that once felt scattered or overwhelming now feel realistic, doable, and grounded. You may notice a mental lightness you haven't felt in a long time. The constant pressure to figure everything out fades. You feel more confident in your sense of timing and less anxious about what comes next. There's no urge to rush or force progress. Instead, there's a quiet trust that you're moving at the right pace, and that trust makes all the difference. This momentum is not accidental. It's the natural result of internal alignment. Once your mind chooses clarity over chaos, life responds quickly. When you stop second-guessing yourself, paths open. When you stop chasing every option, the right ones come forward. Energy that was once wasted on indecision now fuels action. You may find yourself saying yes with confidence and no without guilt. Tasks that felt draining suddenly feel manageable. Creative ideas gain structure. Even small wins begin to stack up, reminding you that progress doesn't have to be exhausting to be real. What's important during this phase is trust. Trust the pace, even if it feels slower than your old habits. Trust the direction, even if it doesn't match past expectations. And most importantly, do not second-guess what feels calm and right. Peace is your new indicator of alignment. This is your breakthrough phase, Gemini, not because everything happens at once, but because everything finally makes sense. The momentum you feel now is sustainable, focused, and real. Stay present. Stay honest with yourself. You're not catching up anymore. You're moving forward. Gemini, listen closely. January 9th is not about forcing a change in who you are. It's not about trying to reinvent yourself overnight. This day is far more profound than any quick fix or sudden transformation. It's about remembering who you've been evolving into all along, the version of yourself you may have glimpsed, but never fully embraced. The energy surrounding this date is designed to illuminate the path you've been preparing for, even if you haven't realized it. The clarity you experience on this day is not random. Every thought that strikes you, every feeling that surfaces, and every unexpected reaction is intentional. The universe communicates through subtle signs, and January 9th amplifies them. You may feel a strong pull toward a decision, a realization about a relationship, or a sudden sense of purpose. Do not dismiss it. Do not rationalize it away. That reaction you feel is not accidental. It's a signal pointing you to alignment, truth, and freedom. Many Geminis resist these moments because they come wrapped in uncertainty or intensity. But here's the key. The truth that surfaces is not meant to scare you. It's not meant to create chaos. It's meant to free you. It's meant to show you where clarity has been waiting all along, even if it was hidden under layers of overthinking, distraction, or self-doubt. Your breakthrough begins the moment you acknowledge it. The moment you stop resisting the signal and start embracing it, momentum shifts. You step from confusion into clarity, from hesitation into confidence, and from indecision into action. This is also a day to honor your inner voice. Gemini, you've been gifted with an extraordinary mind, a quick intellect, and a natural ability to adapt. But adaptability without focus can feel scattered. January 9th is the day to listen deeply to your inner guidance. Notice the patterns, the thoughts that won't leave your mind, the small nudges that seem insignificant but keep repeating. They are clues. They are your personal GPS for what comes next. Write them down, reflect on them, explore them. The breakthrough is already in motion. It's simply waiting for your acknowledgement. Your relationships, your choices, your direction. All of these are being recalibrated. Some relationships may strengthen because honesty becomes effortless and mutual respect shines. Others may fade because misalignment becomes unavoidable. Career paths that felt uncertain now appear with clearer direction. Creative ideas that once seemed overwhelming now take form effortlessly. The days after January 9th will feel like a natural unfolding, not because everything changes at once, but because the alignment that begins internally now reflects externally. If this message resonates with you, take a moment right now. Like this video, subscribe, and comment Gemini below to declare that you are ready for this shift. This is not just interaction for the sake of it. It's a conscious acknowledgement of your readiness. By engaging, you are signaling to yourself and to the universe that you are open to receiving the breakthrough, clarity, and momentum that January 9th is uniquely prepared to deliver. Remember, Gemini, this is not the end of your story. It's not a random chapter or a pause. This is the moment your story begins moving forward with precision, clarity, and intention. Every insight you receive now, every feeling you honor, and every choice you make in alignment with your truth sets the stage for the next chapter of your life. Stay present, stay aware, stay honest. Do not ignore the quiet signals, do not dismiss your instincts, and do not underestimate the power of this day. Your next chapter is already unfolding, full of opportunities, clarity, and aligned momentum. Embrace it, trust it, celebrate it. January 9th is your personal doorway, Gemini, and stepping through it marks the beginning of a life-changing breakthrough. The universe is ready to meet you